Well, let's see what the next chapter is here for the Blue Jackets, shall we? The next twist to the tale. Yes, Crash, it's Rocco's Modern Life. We should probably pay out that prediction here too, shouldn't we? So, in terms of the goaltending, Daig was just far too inconsistent, right? Like, you look at the game, like, he struggle bust against the Rangers, dude. He got lit up. Columbus and New Jersey, not so bad, except for game 2. But, yeah, like, defensively and in goal, we just fell apart. Defensively, I genuinely did not think the Evan Bouchard signing, the offer sheet, could possibly ever go this poorly. Like, dude, he has like a boat anchor contract. It's crazy. He took just 15 shots, too, and you know he would have had power play time that whole time. Kyrou was all right. I mean, eventually we started relying on Poirier, guys like that, because we just could not trust some of the other people that we've been trusting for a while. Lindstrom wasn't too bad. Del Belbelouz, I mean, again, we need you to score goals. Brady had a really rough round 2. Gunderson, not good enough. Frondell, not good enough. Kivy was actually pretty good. And of course, Sean Monahan is on an expiring contract. Can you buy out contracts? You sure can. But that would kill us. We'd be that buyout would have us paying money to Evan Bouchard until I was actually 50 years old in real life. I think we might need to kind of reorganize how we're approaching this. Like, yes, right now we're a playoff team, but the flaws of this team are glaring and not quite getting better. And that revolves around certain key players that just haven't delivered the way we've needed them to. The Colorado Avalanche have once again won the Stanley Cup. The Hershey Bears have once again won the Calder Cup. 2 things that have been said quite often. Colorado beats Florida in 6. And in the AHL, Hershey over the Ontario Reign in 5. We'll take a look at Colorado's team. I believe that is now the second time they have won a Stanley Cup with Matty Beniers on the roster. Yep. You're welcome, Avs. You're welcome. Defensively, Makar, Taves, Sherrard, Brandstrom. In goal, Eustace. Oh, boy. In terms of the awards, back-to-back cups, actually, for the Avs now. Austin Matthews is your Art Ross winner, as well as your Hart winner. The Norris Trophy goes to Adam Fox for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. Kucherov gets the Bing, the Calder to Jackson Jacobson. Conn Smythe winner was Casey Middlestat. Vezina winner, Elvis. There's Leakins. Shesterkin wins the Jennings. Broberg, the Masterton. Anaheim's coach wins the Jack Adams for the 3rd time in 4 years. Pavel Zacha wins his first career Selke. Matthews to Ted Lindsay and the Rocket Richard. In the AHL, Kevin LeBanc was the top point getter, while league MVP, Kevin LeBanc as well. Dude named Allen was the top goal scorer in Providence, while Philip Ekberg was the top rookie. Your top defenseman, Jared Spurgeon. Best goaltender, Alex Lyon. And MVP of the playoffs, a generated dude named Newendike, grandson of Joe. We have a lot to consider heading towards this draft. A lot. St. Louis, yet again, has the first overall pick. The San Jose Sharks, big-time winners. Big-time winners, moving from 13 to 3. Again, we are very limited on draft picks because we went all in last year. Patrick Kane has retired, as has Brad Marchand. John Tavares, Tyler Seguin finishes 2 points shy of 1,000 in his career. Defensively, Alex Petrangelo's gone. Tyson Barrie, T.S. Ekholm, and others. For the goaltenders, Sergei Bobrovsky, Yaroslav Halak, Martin Jones, Robin Lehner, and others. Let's see. It doesn't look like anyone's going to become a staff member, so we won't have anything to worry about there. So the 2029 NHL drafts. Nobody wants to trade a top pick, which is relatively unfortunate. As for draft picks this year, we have a 5th, 6th, and a 7th, and that is it. Next year, we do not have a pick until round 4. The year after that, we do not have a pick until round 4. Right. Thielen and Dag both still have time. Defensively, is Evan Bouchard willing to waive that no movement clause? That is the question. I did forget to set off-season development. Hopefully it's not too late for that. I guess I can set it from here, which would be a bit difficult. Are you willing to waive that clause? Yes! Oh, thank God! Oh, my prayers have been answered. I cannot believe I'm saying this about Evan Bouchard, who is normally broken in this game. But, dude, get off of my team. Holy. Evan Bouchard is willing to be traded. We are going to manually have to find a trade to do it. But, yeah, no, Evan Bouchard is going. Honestly, I mean, even if we don't get the value, St. Louis, are you willing to talk about that first overall pick? The answer is probably not in terms of value. Yeah, there's no shot in hell because they don't want to trade it. And again, I have nothing else I can add to it. We'll overextend for a top 5 pick if need be. Is there any team right now looking to deal a solid enough prospect or player that we could look to move Bouchard for? There's Joe Veleno. There's Moritz Seider. It's not quite what I'm thinking of at the moment. Is it full waiver? They'll waive only the X amount. Yeah, it was full waiver. Kirby Doc, Newhook, Lusterinen. Now the problem is getting value for moving Bouchard. It's like he's going to be good once he's gone. Owen Tippett's the typical sniper that can't put up enough goals. Yeah, we're going to have to overextend here then. Sergachev. Vancouver. I mean, all these guys are getting older. Höglander included. It's probably going to have to be Washington or San Jose. I mean, especially too because St. Louis is about to make this pick and it's going to kick me out of this menu. How close are we? Bouchard for the 2nd overall pick. As expected, we're going to be a bit far. Kostitsyn, defensive defenseman, the 1st overall pick. Can you go back to offer trade and it saves what you were working on now, which is so nice. Now, obviously, there's like, oh shit, did we flip Fantilli in this deal? I mean, there's conversations to be had. Especially because, again, we do not have many assets that we can use to flip here. They do have... No, they don't have interest in Thielen. There's some defensemen that I don't want to get rid of. Jackson, Delbel, Belouz, Riopel. Again, these are more guys I don't necessarily want to get rid of right now. We got some low elites. If we were to add, like, Casper, how close are we? Is there a steal of a player like last year's draft? Because we know the top 5 are all decent. We'd want Leahy as well. So pick 4 is the one to target. Shout out to Pascal Bissonnette. Okay, Cyrus Anderson. NHL ready. He is only a medium 6. Clayton Marchant looks like he's probably a year away. Anybody else with high ratings? Okay, it doesn't look like there's going to be the crazy steals that we had last year in the first round in terms of dudes who are NHL ready out of the gates. There is a low elite in Yuri Petrov, who would be a pretty good player to target if that's possible. Okay. But that means we are looking around pick number 10 or 11 if we cannot trade into the top 5. Pittsburgh and Edmonton, who don't want to move their picks. I said we were targeting pick 4, but let's talk to San Jose. The medium 6 and medium 4 develop in the game yet. It looks like they've been a little bit better this year, but it could just be because I've been trying to like brute force them into development. Can I trade Evan Bouchard to San Jose for the 3rd overall pick? Yes, I can. They were all right with it. 1 for 1. Evan Bouchard for the 3rd overall pick. We traded 4 first-rounders, essentially, on an offer sheet to get Bouchard, but it was a match made in hell. But Evan Bouchard is gone. It just seems like it was for the best, man. It really did. Defensively now, we have Werenski, Yarosek, Kaupinen. I'm going to need a right-side defenseman to replace him. Kairu's still not a bad playoff performer, so it's worth keeping him. We got a lot of these younger guys in the mix. We got to see how they're going to develop. There is an argument about Adam Fantilli because the dude cannot stay healthy. He just can't. Has no clauses kicking in. And he's a 50 to 60 point guy in the regular season. 10 points in 19 playoff games, but again, he can't stay healthy. And then centers, ideally, I'm going to keep Monahan. All right. After this pick, okay, there was a right side defenseman in Daniel Gaudreau. He's NHL ready, so was Leahy. Fucking sniper, but 73 assists. Okay. I mean, in theory, Gaudreau could be the replacement. But what are the odds that we're able to get the Islanders to budge on pick number 4? How'd you not draft Gaudreau? I mean, crash because I'm not trying to pander off of someone's death, but it does look like I am going to try to get him, actually. So there you go. It would require Fantilli, which is brutal. But again, he cannot stay healthy. There is also Gunderson, who's been a little bit... Dude, it might be the right time to move on from Fantilli. I hate to say it, but he cannot stay healthy. Can I get some extra picks here just to safety net it? Adam Fantilli for the 4th overall pick. It's a done deal. We have moved on from Fantilli. We have moved on from Bouchard. And with that, we are going to acquire Bouchard's replacement from the Victoriaville Tigres, defenseman Daniel Gaudreau. And we are going to replace Fantilli, in a sense, with a winger and Gabriel Leahy. An 80 overall, right wing, medium elite, no abilities on him. Yeah, I mean, as a sniper, he's another one of those players, man. You could train him up as anything. He's just super well-rounded. And then Gaudreau as a two-way is pretty much perfect. Okay. Big trades. Is there room for one more? Not with Andersons or Marchand because the value will be too high. But we're looking around pick number 26 for that low elite Yuri Petrov. Dude, nobody this year wants to trade their picks. Holy shit. The Bruins, by way of Tampa. If we pencil in what this team is going to be looking like, right? I think we do need to go ahead and do that now. In goal is still going to be Daig and Thielen because it's cheap. Defensively, it is shaping up to be Werenski and Yarosek. Zamula is going to probably go, which means we have Kapanen and Gaudreau. And then Dayton with ideally Villeneuve, unless there are improvements to get, because I still think Villeneuve could be decent. His attributes are better than what his overall would indicate. Right wing side, we have a lot of guys in the mix here now. A lot. And again, Gabriel Leahy's listed as a sniper. You got Riopel and Shields in there. Shields also listed as a sniper. Riopel as a power forward. Which, we will have some money to spend, too. Carson, thank you for the 33. Who's winning the Cup this year? Whoever the hell trades for Jeremy Swayman. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, if we pencil in Jordan Kyrou for that top line, Leahy, Shields, and Riopel are all kind of battling it out for that second line spot. Left wing side. We got to factor in Gunderson. Man. Jackson as a playmaker isn't terrible. You got Monahan as a two-way. If we keep him. Baffled. You handsome devil. How the heck are you, my man? Good to see you. Good to see you, and thank you. Too kind. God, what else are we going to do here? We got Lindstrom as a two-way. Chuck is still a power forward. We know that Gunderson is a sniper who probably shouldn't be. Frondell's a two-way. Del Belbaluz is a sniper. Lamb is a sniper. Oh, man. There's a lot to figure out with this team. I hate to say it, but I think now is the right time to move on from Del Belbaluz. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He is not going to be that elite top 6 sniper we were hoping for. He is a 20-goal guy. He is not a 30-plus goal guy. If we can use him to get this pick, we should. But we are going to have to add a little bit more. We are going to have to add a little bit more. And there's some other players that aren't safe yet. There are some other players that are definitely not safe yet. He's a fan favorite, though. He is, but his time's come. Can we use McLeod? Still not enough. Anybody else here that's a little bit older? Ooh, Poirier is only 22. That's not bad. Can we use Rayala? No. Draft picks. The few that we have. 5th rounder from Vegas. I don't think we're as close as I'm hoping that we are. We definitely are not. What else can we use to get this deal done? Who else can we use? Again, we got a lot of players in the mix, but we are going to need some player type changes, or there will be more trades. I haven't had too much luck with these low elites yet in terms of seeing their overalls kind of spike like we've seen in the past games. God, we really don't have much to use here. There goes the 6th overall pick to Philly. Again, so glad you go back to offer trade and it brings right back up what you were working on. That was one of the worst parts of the game over the last couple of years, is you'd immediately lose whatever trade you were working on. If we were to use Del Belbaluz to Boston, what about a 3rd rounder down the road? Is that enough to push it? Still no. What about 2 3rd rounders down the road? And a 4th? Low elite might not be coming here, man. Low elite might not be coming here. I use a future 2nd. Can I at least recoup some later picks in this year's draft, please? Get rid of a 4th. Get rid of another 4th. Get rid of a 5th. Del Belbaluz in a 2nd for the 25th overall pick. Wow, they still said, okay, it is what it is then. I'm out. That's too much. So we'll skip well ahead in the draft. There might have been some other players we might have been able to get, but it's clear like our option of like trading up at this point has been exhausted. We have a couple of players in the running here. We'll go for this goaltender, Corbin Harima. Low shot to be a high elite goalie. High fringe. Could have been worse. His overall is terrible, though. He's never going to make it.
Fucking grass.
The old combo. Follow. Welcome in, man. How you been? Let's take Nico Pistola. Take a Finn. Can never go wrong. Except we did, because that's a low 7th defenseman. Yeah, this isn't going to be a crazy draft for us. The key for us was to get rid of Evan Bouchard, and we succeeded in that regard. Sven Petterstrom is not a steal. Okay. So yeah, we didn't get anybody with those late 3 picks. To get Goodrow and Leahy at 3 and 4 is pretty good. We had to give up a lot to get it done. And like I said, I still think there's a lot that might have to change with this team here. This is a little bit scary at this stage. We are much further away. Hopefully it'll still allow me to do the offseason workouts at the re-sign phase. Otherwise, we miss that window. Let's see, for Daig. Okay, we can still do the offseason stuff. Again, for Daig, just work on the reflexes, buddy. Del Taco. Gotta go. You have Del Taco in Australia? Thielen. Off-season for you. Who wins the cup first, Bouchard or Fantilli? One of them will. Every person I've traded away because they haven't worked out here has had success elsewhere. And then Josh Ravensbergen. Still a phenomenal name. Let's have you work on those reflexes as well, buddy. All right. Kaskisuo is gone. Piarala, we're not going to sign to an ELC. Obviously, we're going to need a little bit of goaltending depth. Defensively, Yegor Zamula will go ahead and drop. Goodrow will sign to an ELC. We'll qualify Morelli and then talk to him. Gardner is a low 6. We'll let go of him. Full Potty's a medium 7th. McDonald's a medium 7th. Right. So, Zach Werenski. What can we have you work on this offseason, buddy? I think, again, the shot accuracy would be big. Or even more offensive awareness. Shoot more could also work. Maybe we'll go for the awareness. There we go. Get some discipline in there, too. Clutch, yeah. David Yarosek. Skating could get a little bit better still. I mean, he is a really strong two-way defenseman. I think, again, let's work on the skating for you. We're going to have a lot to set up here. A lot of pieces in the air. Kauppanen. Another Finn. Kimmo Kauppanen. I think, again, the skating. Like, obviously, his offense. Ooh, his offense really does need work. Let's go for puck skills. The skating isn't that bad. We got to work on puck skills for this. I mean, dude, he doesn't know what to do when he has the puck on his stick. Skills training. There we go. Try to get him to improve in that regard. Dayton. Dallas Dayton, defensive defenseman. Probably puck skills as well. Could go skating. Well, yeah, we'll probably go puck skills for Big Dallas again, who was with the Calgary Hitmen, if I'm not mistaken. Best WHL team. Skills training for him. Hope for the best. Goodrow. Am I allowed to assign him off-season training even though we just drafted him? He's listed as a two-way, which is totally fair. There's so much we could have him work on. There really is. Puck skills, the shooting category. Maybe we'll go puck skills if I can have him work on stuff. Oh, I can. That's really nice then. So there you go. There's a benefit to immediately signing a draft pick if you plan on playing them, is you can do the off-season training. So that is a nice little benefit, because if someone's not under contract, you cannot have this focused training with them. Johansson, you just kind of what you are at this point, buddy. Skating, defensive awareness. Again, he's just a physical depth defenseman. Are you having issues with your sliders resetting the base after simming or playing? No, but I haven't been looking for that. So maybe it is happening, but I just haven't noticed. Ah, shit, that's not the one I want. Actually, no, defensive awareness was fine. I'll have to keep an eye out on that, actually. If this team could have any success in the playoffs, then I'd have reason to look. Villeneuve. That's interesting, though. I'll mark that down. That people are having sliders reset. I'll mention that to EA and see if they're at least aware of it. If you have a clip, especially, if you have the ability, even through like Xbox or PlayStation, to record like, hey, here's me setting my stuff, playing the game, and then it disappearing, that would help too. Let's go shooting accuracy for Villeneuve. I mean, I do want to set him up full-time as a right D. He just doesn't quite have the shot. Maybe I shouldn't be banking on Villeneuve full-time. Let's see. Off-season. Have you work on that adaptability. There's a lot he could work on, but we'll go adaptability for him. Morelli, no meeting available because you're not under contract, so let's talk about that extension. Can still go 3 years. Just pay him the max of a two-way contract. And now we'll be able to talk to him. I expect him to be anything. Not really. Offensive awareness, defensive awareness. I mean, there's a lot that he needs to work on. I don't think he'll ever really be anything. Thank you for the follow, Yuri. I appreciate it.
Grass.
Shot accurate. I mean, he has so much to work on. It's not even funny. I don't think he's ever going to make it. We're just going to go skating. Yeah, he's probably not ever going to make it. Right now, he's just kind of a body for the defense. Terrell. It's got to be the skating. For a lot of these AHLers, that'll continue to be the thing for off-season development, is just figure out how to actually move your feet. That'd be very, very helpful. Oops. What's on your mind? Nothing, buddy. Get the hell out of my office. Roll off. Skating. That's what it's going to be. for all of these guys is, for the love of God, figure out how to actually skate, please. You are trying to be a professional hockey player. I need you to understand how to skate. Please. Please, please, please. All right. Clef Bomb. His skating's actually getting to be somewhat decent. If you work on your puck skills, I mean, he needs to work on everything too. Maybe we'll go puck skills for Clef Bomb. I have a hunch he will not be the next great Swedish defenseman in the NHL, but hey, you never know. He might be usable for us in the future. And then Derek Johnston. It's dude, these guys just not gonna make it. They are just not gonna make it. We're trying, but our prospect pool is slim. All right, and then Pentakainen, our last guy. You'll see Pentakainen work on the skating, buddy. Might be the best Clef Bomb in the NHL. Why you gotta besmirch Oscar like that, dude? Injuries took away his career. It's so rude. That guy played decently well, too, for someone who was, like, never 100%. Right wing side, we got to sign Leahy to his ELC. McCown, RFA. Poirier's an RFA. So with McCown... let's see, Hunter, 2 years, max two-way. Either that, or we just leave you on the qualifying offer for your last year as an RFA. But then I can't talk to him. So, Justin Poirier. He's going to wait. You know what, man? We like Hunter McCown. We like Hunter. Let's see if he'll stick around long-term as an AHLer. We're going to need people for that spot anyway. Rayala, medium bottom six, we'll say no to you. How am I feeling about player morale system so far better than previous years? Yes. You are still having some teams that, like, their AI management isn't amazing. So, you know, they'll let relationships sour maybe a bit too easily. But in a general sense, I'd say it's improved, yeah. All right, let's sign Kent Davison, because he's 20. Get him on his ELC. I'm going to sign everybody to their ELCs first, and we'll go back to off-season training. Petterstrom sucks. And then Sean Monahan wants that no-movement clause protection, a one-year deal. I'll give him what he wants. I mean, we have $38 million in cap space. I mean, Monahan's been a great player for us. Matt Rempe can go, though. All right, let's see. Monahan is back. McCown is signed. Poirier is signed. Okay, cool. I'll give it a shot then. It's definitely better. It's definitely improving. Honestly, the biggest thing, like, there's always going to be imperfections about their franchise modes, let's be honest. Honestly, right now, again, the biggest issue with this game mode is still the fact that EA's provided rosters are bad. But there are creators already out there putting out rosters that I haven't been able to deep dive into, but they should be improving the experience at least a little bit, which is always helpful. Like, any little bit that you can gain in terms of making the mode better is worth it. So, let's see, Jordan Kyrou. Just need you to pass the puck more, man. That's it. Just pass the puck more. I need you to be that elite playmaker. Don't worry about shooting, even though you got a decent shot. Just pass the puck more, please. Okay, this is the first interesting one. Harvey Shields. He's a sniper, but he's listed as a third-line checking forward. All those guys that we drafted not that long ago, I have to figure out just what the hell is going on with them in terms of, like, player type and what we want to do with them. So Shields as a low elite. Again, could play pretty much anything. He has pretty much elite level skating. His physicality's not bad. Like, clearly the best thing for him is the shooting category. But the fact he has that defensive ability and is listed as a checking forward would certainly lead you to think that he should be a two-way. Leahy, who we just drafted, 4th overall, also listed as a sniper currently, which is fair. I mean, again, he could play just about any role we needed him to. Riopel, we took last year. He is listed as a 4th line forward, as a power forward. Power forward works. Two-way works. I don't think he's ever going to be good enough offensively to be an elite level power forward, though. Might honestly be worth trying to change him like a grinder, if we even can. Otherwise, some of these guys, it might just be worth moving on from them. Poirier was set up as a sniper. Again, because I'm trying to get him to use his shot more. Because of that power. I think, again, same thing for him. Just keep working on that shot. Like, I'm trying to turn him into a good sniper. It might have been worth long-term going for playmaker just because of the way he's developed, but we're trying. Hunter McCown, obviously sticking around as a grinder. He's got to improve his skating still. I mean, he's 4th line at best. We know that about Hunter. But he's been one of the more willing to listen personalities we've had on the team. Let's see. Nick Crooks. Poirier, do you think he has a legit chance at Arrow at some point with the Hurricane? I don't know enough about him. Hopefully. Let's go with that. Let's go with hopefully. Crooks as a playmaker still makes a lot of sense. His skating needs to get better. My God, doesn't his skating need to improve? What are we going to do with this team, man? What are we going to do? The Latvian Flugens. Playmaker. I mean, he's got decent enough skating. I think we tried to switch him to a sniper before because of his shot power. Let's have that conversation with Carlos Flugens again. Let's work on that shot power for now, buddy. We'll have a conversation about switching spots. Am I excited for the Korpisalo Revenge Tour? Sure am. Shahevsky, two-way. Again, best aspect about him is the shooting category. Like, where the hell is this game getting two-way from? So many of these guys are generating with attributes where it's like, man, like, it's just worth trying to turn you into snipers because otherwise you're just going to be very, very mid at whatever else we have you doing. So Shields, Riopel, and Leahy, we still need to figure out what the hell we're doing with them. Left wing side, we still have Caden Lindstrom. I still can't make him better at faceoffs because he's refused to become a natural center. There's a lot that we could have him work on. But I think, again, adaptability long-term is the best. Like, I just need him to become that full-time center. Because right now, if we go offensive, yeah, it won't bring up faceoffs. All right, adaptability again for Caden. Brady. Obviously, as a power forward, he's fine. Best thing is probably shoot the puck more. Either improve the shooting category or just tell him to shoot the puck more. Pretty much the best thing that we can have him do. Be willing to shoot that puck more, score more goals, please. Gunderson, you are an interesting one because I thought with that shot power, you were going to be this elite sniper. But despite the fact he's a great skater, like, look at him. He has a two-way ability, or at least a defensive ability. Like, clearly he'd be better suited as a two-way. So we got to have him work on his adaptability and his willingness to listen. Gunderson might be getting traded, to be honest. That's kind of where we're at now. Frondell is also clearly best suited to be a two-way. Best thing for him is probably the skating. His discipline's not that good. But yeah, the best thing for him will be the skating. Which means Frondell is going to be directly competing with Gunderson to be that two-way presence offensively. So, I mean, weird spot to be in. Del Belbaluz, I don't think he's sticking around. We are going to tell him to probably shoot the puck more. But again, I just don't think he's that top six scoring presence that we have tried so hard to develop him into. But yeah, I think it's clear now. We're going to have to start picking and choosing with certain players and then figuring out who's going where. Lamb is another one of these young guys. Literally all these guys we've drafted in the first round over the last couple of years, aside from the defensemen, it's like, oh my God, what do we do with them? What do we want to try to develop you into? Kivy, I mean, he's an AHL sniper. That's fine. Hayes. Well, actually, I mean, there's really no reason to not talk to Kiviranta. Just tell him to work on his shooting then, since, you know, that is what makes sense. All right, Hayes, again, we have tried like hell to turn this guy into a playmaker for years. This is pretty much your last opportunity to be willing to become more coachable. I'm actually not able to hit the meeting button on him. Interesting. Galyanov, training him up as a playmaker. Again, he has the shot power, but maybe... Okay, I can do the meeting for him. That's weird. Let's have him work on his shooting for now. It's going to take to get you to shoot the puck up by a 10. Right? God damn. Well, you know, some guys just don't want to listen. All right, now I can talk to Hayes. What's on your mind, buddy? Adaptability. You're never going to be anything unless you're willing to be a playmaker, and even then, it's probably too late. Let's see. Ty Manier. Let's see what we got going on here really quickly. So he's listed as a two-way. Again, you look at the passing ability. This guy's a playmaker. That guy's a playmaker. I need him to work on adaptability and be willing to switch. TK Jet was phenomenal. It wasn't, but, you know. Radek Kaspar, set up as a grinder, which is totally fair, and let's be honest, we need grinders. This guy needs to work on his skating, though. His skating, his physicality, but I have no problem being like, oh, cool, a grinder. Because with all those other guys that we were talking about, we're basically just going to have to be like, this is what we need, so fuck it, this is what we're going to try to turn you into, and if you're not willing to be that, you're going to have to go. Like, that's what we're looking at now. McLeod as a power forward. Let's be honest, he needs to be a grinder as well. He is never going to be a top-notch power forward. If this guy isn't willing to be switched over to a grinder, there's no point in keeping him long-term. His adaptability is already sky-high, so that might have been a bit of a waste, but whatever. Davison. Two ways fair. The guy's just bad at hockey. No meeting available. Rutu. Listed as a two-way. That's fair. He's just very bad at hockey. I am starting to believe that the low elites just are not going to skyrocket like they did in previous games. Although there is a chance the low elites are skyrocketing in like Draft of Glories previously because we were playing them in the NHL. This guy is listed as a power forward. There's no fucking way you're ever going to be that. Your best attributes are clearly shooting related. So we'll work on Dmitry Vasilyev's adaptability. A lot of these guys are going to have to go, and we're just going to be relying on, like veterans to fill out the AHL, basically. And then for the centers, Sean Monahan. First thing to go as a veteran is your skating, so let's try to turn back the hands of time here. And make sure you keep those legs underneath you here. What should I focus on? Not sucking in hockey, basically. Joel Jackson. Listed as a playmaker. He's in that same conversation. He could be anything. He could even be a playmaker. Luca Pinelli was finally willing to switch to sniper, which is good. Let's have you work on shooting the puck more. I don't think he's ever going to be anything. But let's have you take advantage of that shot, Luca. Gonchar. Listed as a sniper. Totally fair. Could even argue two-way maybe. But yeah, he's still got to work on that shooting. Some of these guys are lying about their weights with these physical numbers. Hey, just because, you might be a bigger player, it doesn't mean you know how to use that freaking size, Edwin York, also set up as a potential sniper. He does need a face-off bump, too, but yeah, that's what I'm noticing. A lot of guys are set up best to develop as snipers because of the shots. So it doesn't necessarily mean go with what's best for them, but kind of go for what you need. Dimitrakos as a playmaker, no shot. I mean, his shooting's all right, but he's so kind of mid. We're going to be able to turn him into whatever the hell we need to turn him into and then just start training him up at that point. You just need to be willing to have that adaptability, buddy, because you are terrible at hockey. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so another look at the team here for the forwards, right? We have Jordan Kyrou as a playmaker with the secured spot in the top six. We have Caden Lindstrom. It's weird not to see Fantilli here. We have Caden Lindstrom as pretty much guaranteed our top center as a two-way forward. And Brady Tkachuk is pretty much guaranteed to be our top line left wing as a power forward, which is okay. Aside from that, we have Sean Monahan for the second line as a two-way forward down the middle. What is it going to be? Who is going to play where? Man, what are we going to do? Especially, too, Gunderson. Again, we talked about him maybe being a two-way. I do not have a set plan for this team right now in the slightest. With all those guys that are kind of in a toss-up spot right now, it's work on your adaptability because we are probably going to need people to move around. I'm not going to be able to make this decision in terms of who's playing where or as what player type until we see how the rest of the offseason goes for us in free agency and stuff like that. And I am not allowed to click on these guys right now. It's glitched out. Back to re-sign. There's the big free agents. I don't like to look at upcoming free agents because a lot of times they'll just fucking disappear anyway. They'll end up re-signing with their team. So we just kind of leave it until oh, okay, cool, we're there. There we go. Clayton Lamb, off-season, work on your adaptability. That is fine by me. Man, this is just such a weird spot that I did not expect us to be in. We have a hell of a lot of talent. It's just how the hell do we put this talent together? I feel like I'm going full Herb Brooks. You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. That is this team right now. Let's see. Gabriel Leahy. Let's have you work on your adaptability. Only thing I can guarantee is no shot that all the people currently on this team are here next year. I mean, we already got rid of Bouchard. We already got rid of Fantilli, which is crazy. Bouchard because he sucked and Fantilli because he couldn't stay healthy. All right. Who is going to be available in free agency? That is the $1 million question.